In this episode of Valve House, I'll be showing you how to change your brake calipers from this to this. So the equipment you need to do this really isn't anything too special. You just need some painter's tape, some old smallish garbage bags, brake and parts cleaner, wax and grease remover, and the main part, the caliper paint, I've gone for red. And you can use like a 400-ish grit sandpaper, or for me, I'm just using a wire brush drill bit, just to make the process a lot quicker and easier. So the first step, once you've got your car jacked up and the wheel taken off, is we need to prep the brake calipers to get rid of all this corrosion, the rust, and just help the paint stick. And through this, as I said before, you can either use sandpaper or, like me, just using a wire brush, and you just want to try and get all the corrosion off. Anything that will just make the paint not stick well, or just any imperfections, you can get it, because you want to get it as clean and as smooth as possible. So as you can see, after hitting it with a wire brush, it looks way better now. We've got rid of all that corrosion and rust on the front, you can see. So now you're all good to start prepping the area. So as you can see, we've now just got the bin bag on here, so all we do is open it up, put it over the brake caliper and the disc, and now what we're going to do is just use the painter's tape and just attach it to anywhere you can see that it might fall off, just so there's no chance of getting overspray on anything. So now we've just attached it to anywhere we could, so now it's all nice and secure, not going to fly around anywhere. And now this is the next step. Now instead of just ripping a hole out, what we want to do is just grab a knife, draw like just a line that's about 2/3 the side of the caliper, and then you can just use the elasticity of the band just to stretch it over, just so you get a nice tight fit, and it just holds itself on much better. So as you can see, now we've cut our hole. It's as simple as just stretching it as much as you need, just to fit its way over the caliper. So you can see now, after a little bit of adjustment, every single part of the brake disc is covered everywhere, and now all we have is just the exposed caliper. So now, next step is just grab your brake and parts cleaner and a rag, and you just want to spray down your caliper just to get rid of all the leftover junk you got from cleaning it up, and then just wipe it down with a rag. So now one of the final steps in preparing the caliper is you just want to grab your painter's tape and just fill up every single area that you don't want to get painted. So stuff like the brake pads, little access to the rotors in here, just everywhere that you don't want paint to be. So as you can see now, everything is all taped up. Every single place that we don't want paint is all taped up. Okay, so now it's time for our first coat. Now for the first coat, you want to be really light, just to get a little bit of coverage over it, and then we're going to do about 3 to 4 coats, and you've got to wait 10 minutes between each coat. So now we're just going to hit it with the first coat. So here's the first coat laid. Now I actually unfortunately forgot to use wax and grease remover, but I mean, it's not essential, but it does help if you just wet a rag with some and wipe it down, just to make sure the paint absolutely sticks, but it should be fine. Here's the first coat. So as you can see, after about 4-ish coats, with the 5th coat just to kind of touch up areas I've missed, you can see it hasn't fully dried yet. It's only been on the car for about, I'd say, an hour, but yeah, it's a very nice finish, and it should dry to about that same sort of shine. But yeah, very happy with it. So now, next step is just grab a set of tweezers and then just pull all the tape off, and then you would chuck the wheel on. So you can see that with all the tape off, there's no overspray anywhere. It's all on nice. And yeah, very happy with it. Now time to chuck the wheel on. So here it is with the wheel on. Very happy with how it turned out. And it cures in about 3 days, but you can drive in it as soon as it's touch dry, which only takes about 3 hours. But yep, very happy with it. Looks good.